There's a €2,500 government grant for small businesses in Ireland that you can spend on almost any aspect of your website or online marketing. It's up to €2,500 in funding that you can use to upgrade your website design and spend on things like training, search engine optimization, Facebook ads, Google ads and more. My name is Alistair McDermott from Website Doctor. I'm a website consultant and business mentor with my local enterprise office. I've been involved in evaluating voucher applications and helping business owners apply successfully for this funding since the launch of the scheme in 2014. This video is a live recording of an informational seminar that I recently ran for one of the local enterprise offices who administer the grant. At the end of this video, you'll have the opportunity to download a free resource that will help you avoid mistakes that will cost you money and will help you to get the most value out of the voucher, resulting in increased online sales. To introduce myself, my name is Alistair McDermott. My business is called Website Doctor, and you can send me an email if you have any questions. Afterwards, you can send me an email, info@websitedoctor, or on Twitter or Facebook at Website Doctor. So the voucher scheme is a matched financial support of €2,500 in matching funds. What that means is to get a matched fund of €2,500, you need to be spending €5,000 plus VAT. They will basically match 50% of your spend. So if you're spending €2,000, they'll match 1,000. If you're spending $1,500, they'll match $750. The aim here is to help small businesses get online and get trading online and doing things like e-commerce and bookings and lead generation. So they really want to see people increasing jobs and exports and business growth. That's their goal. And it's worth bearing that in mind when you're filling in the form, that's their goal is to achieve that. So the voucher itself, the matching funds, it's matched at 50% for almost everything. It's matched at 30% for online advertising spend. So what that means is if you hit, say, the boost post on Facebook ads and you spend some money on Facebook, or if you do Google AdWords, they match that spend at 30%, which in my opinion is really great, because to have some funding for that at all is brilliant. The great thing about the service or about the voucher is that it can be used for multiple different things at the same time. So you can use it for website development, you can use it for, say, photography for your website or videography for your website. You can use it for training, you can use it for online advertising. That, in my opinion, is the best feature of the voucher scheme, is you can use it for a lot of different things. Has anybody seen Commando? There's one point in the movie where he breaks into a weapons depot for the army or the navy or something. And it's typical movie, movie montage style. The hero breaks in and there's all these guns and everything, and he loads up a shopping trolley and he starts putting rocket launchers and grenade launchers and machine guns and sniper rifles and everything into this trolley. This is kind of like what it's like when you're approaching internet marketing as a business owner. There's all these different types of weapons, there's different types of options available to you, but you've only got one trolley, so you've got all these different things. You've got to choose what's right for you. So he didn't go in there and take everything. He had to pick the ones for his job. So you've got all these different things that you can do. You can do videos on YouTube or on Facebook, or you can be doing Instagram or Pinterest. You can invest in your website, you can invest in training. So you've got to make the right choices. You've got to choose the right guns for your job, When you're looking at all the options that are available, think about, okay, what is it that we want to do? What's the best way to achieve what we want to achieve? And also, what tools or what networks do we like using? For example, I'm not very good at using Facebook, but I particularly like Twitter. That's just the tools that I like using. You might be the same. You might really like Instagram, or you might really like Pinterest. So it's a good idea to go with where your strengths are as well. So when you're looking at all of those things, you also look at, well, where are your customers? So bear all of that in mind when you're considering, right, what can we do with this voucher scheme? Because there are a huge amount of options available to you. Who's eligible for it? I find this a bit difficult, actually, the way they've worded this. They say businesses with a limited online trading presence. So I think it means that you're not Amazon.com already. So long as you haven't, invested millions in your website already, I think you're covered on this one. You have to have less than 2 million in turnover. You have to have less than 10 employees, and you have to be trading for a minimum of 12 months. And you must be located in the local area. So you must be located in the Mayo-Leo area if you're applying to Mayo-Leo, obviously. The key is they also want to see documentation for those points that I just gave.
Are you finding this video useful? Please hit like below the video to help other business owners to find this information.
So who's not eligible? Basically, people that aren't businesses, so clubs and charities and not-for-profits and associations, semi-states, and businesses that are a conference or a seminar. The regular for-profit business will be covered by this. They don't want to basically duplicate funding. If you've got over 2 million turnover, you're over 10 employees, and if you're trading for less than 12 months. So on that point, if you're trading for less than 12 months, the first recommendation I'd have is get the clock ticking on that. And the easiest way to do that is if you register a business name with the company registration office. And you can do that online for €20. It means that in 12 months' time, you'll be able to apply for this voucher. The next thing is a lot of the local enterprise offices have a Leo website grant available. Generally a little bit less paperwork than this, and it's usually a smaller amount. But I think that it's a very export focused. So in order to qualify for that, you'd have to show a very good export potential. But that's something that you can talk to them if you're less than 12 months. So what can it be used for? So these are the official titles that they have on the form. So digital marketing strategy, so basically sitting down with somebody and making a plan. Development or upgrade of an e-commerce site, adding e-commerce functionality to a site that doesn't have it, or if you've got an old e-commerce site that needs to be upgraded to new technology or just made better for usability. All that kind of stuff. Implementing online payment or booking, so maybe if you have a guest house, a B&B or a hotel, or maybe like a beauty salon or something like that, you might want to be able to implement some sort of booking system. Some sort of customer fulfillment system, something that allows you to basically operate more efficiently. Most internet-related software, so that might be things that, like maybe you've got a website where you can add a plugin to it, and you can go and you can buy a plugin from a plugin vendor. That would be covered by this. It actually covers a lot of different types of software, so long as they're website related, internet related. It doesn't cover anything obviously that's not related to your website. Really cool one is development of a mobile app. So if you want to get your app developed for Android or for iPhone, that's covered. Training that you can do online or training that you can do in person. Online advertising, so that's like your Google AdWords or your Facebook ads, and that's matched at 30%. What it can't be used for? Development of what they call a brochure website. When they put this rule in, they're talking about old school 2005 kind of era websites that don't have any functionality. There are a lot of businesses that don't do direct sales on them. So what we call those websites is lead generation sites. When they say development of brochure sites, they don't mean that they won't fund lead generation sites, but there has to be some sort of effort at generating leads. They want to see you do a good job for your own business and for the economy. So they want to see the money used wisely. So that's really what they're saying with this. Purchase of non-internet related software, obviously, and then anything that's not related to that, to online trading. So some of the rules they have that are notable. So you've got to attend a seminar, so that's why they said you got to come along tonight and listen, basically to find out the information that's here. It used to include VAT originally, and unfortunately now it excludes VAT. And you've got to provide documentation showing that you're eligible, showing that you're, you've been in business more than 12 months, that you've all the other rules that I went through earlier on. And then the application should include 3 quotes for every service. So, like, let's say you wanted to get your website redone, plus you wanted to do a training course. What they want to see is they want to see 3 quotes for the website work from 3 different providers, and then they want to see 3 quotes for the training as well. Now, for something like that, it could be as simple as going to a provider's website and printing off the sales page that shows the figure and how much that is. So. But yeah, you should have 3 quotes, make it easy for them, give them what they're looking for in the application. Your supplier must provide some eligibility, documentation proving that their eligibility. So they have to be a registered business and they have to be tax compliant in their own area. Your supplier does not have to be Irish, they can be anywhere, but just so long as they're tax compliant wherever they are and that they're a real business.
There's been a minor change in rules here recently. The project can take 4 months maximum. This used to be 3 months. but there is a maximum of 4 months. So if you think the project is going to take longer, get in touch with the local enterprise office and talk to them about that beforehand. And if any delays occur during the project, make sure that you talk to the person in your Leo who's in charge of the scheme and make sure that they understand why the delays are happening. The final and most important point is that you should not spend any money until you receive your formal notification that you've been approved for the voucher scheme. If you spend any money on services before you get the formal approval, those services will not be covered and not be matched by the scheme funding.
What they look for when they're going to actually give you the funding, they want to see the original paid invoice for the work completed. They want a bank statement showing the proof of payment to the suppliers. And you can redact the other stuff on it for your own privacy, but they need to see the statement with the money going out. So you can't make a cash payment, basically. It needs to be a transfer. And then they need to see tax clearance for your business. And they need something to show that you've been trading for that 12 months or over. They want a short summary of the work. So basically give them an email saying, here's the work that we got done. Here's what we expected to do for the business. An email from your supplier, your letter from your supplier saying the project is complete so that it's not still open. And then they want the supplier's details, tax clearance information. So what should be included? Obvious stuff, your name, your location, what type of business you're in, the contact information, when you started the business. They want you to tell them how it will help. Is it going to help handle sales automatically or generate new leads, make customer service easier, all that kind of information. And they also want to see what they call online competitor analysis. So basically they want you to go and look at your competitors' websites. And this is just common sense stuff, just so you know that for sanity checking, that you know you've gone and looked at what other people are doing in your field, so you can compare with the features that you're looking for your site. So they want to know who your target market is, and they want you to give a little bit of information about how it will help grow your revenue or increase efficiencies. And all of that will help you to decide actually if it's worthwhile going ahead with what you're planning to do. So they also ask for internal and external resources that you can dedicate to the project. And sometimes they have some examples in the form, and I've given them some feedback on making this section a little bit easier for people to fill out by giving more examples. This is what they say they're looking for: people, facilities, systems, processes, equipment. Fill that section in as best you can. A lot of these questions are to force you to think about the project and use the money wisely. Some of the questions are for their tracking, basically, so that they can see, right, this is the type of business that it's being used for. So that's the digital assets, photos, videos, presentations, any kind of written content that you might have. My top tips for filling in the application: make it easy for them to fund you by including everything that they ask for. Every certificate or every piece of documentation that they say that they need. If they say they need it, they won't be able to process your application without it. That's the long and the short of it. So make it easy for everybody by giving that to them. Some of it is just required for audit purpose later on. But if they ask for it, make your own life easier by just supplying it. There's a few boxes on the application form that are a little bit ambiguous as to what they're looking for. My advice is don't leave any box empty. Fill in everything. If you're not quite sure what they're looking for, put in your best guess or write in not applicable. But don't leave anything completely empty, because it's easier for them if there's something there. There's a good chance that you'll be awarded, as long as you're eligible, that you'll be awarded the money. Everybody who has applied for this voucher scheme and who has filled in the form correctly has been awarded the scheme, right? So it's 100%. This is public taxpayer money that's being used. There's a good chance that they will be audited on why did you give this money to this business. Having all of the documentation there to hand to say this is why we gave it makes their life much easier. So that's why they ask for it. And as a taxpayer, I'm happy to know that there is some sort of checks and balances behind the scene. You know, it's good that they're doing that. So yeah, sometimes they can ask for stuff and it's a bit of a pain to go and find, and get the tax clearance and all that kind of stuff. Just do it. It's part and parcel of the process, but just needs to be done. They'll email you out a form. You can fill it in on your computer, is probably the easiest way. You can also print it out and handwrite it. It's probably easier to fill it in on your computer because you can save it for later. Complete everything, leave nothing empty, and contact them for anything you're unclear about. Don't submit it incomplete, because all that will happen is they'll send it back to you and say, can you fill in this and send it back, it'll just cause a few delays. That's everything on the voucher scheme itself.
I've created a strategy guide and planning checklist specifically to help you use the Trading Online Voucher Scheme funding effectively. To access this free resource, either click on the link in the video or visit websitedoctor.com/voucher. That's websitedoctor.com/voucher. Thanks for watching. Please share this video on your social networks to help other business owners find out about this scheme.